Good evening, my name's Melissa Booker. Tonight I'm going to be talking to you about Sparky Anderson and how Sparky Anderson can help healthcare organizations make better decisions. For those of you that don't know who Sparky Anderson was, he was a manager of the Cincinnati Reds in the 1970s and later for the Detroit Tigers in the 1980s. Unfortunately, he passed a couple years ago, but he will be very helpful to healthcare. As you all know, the Affordable Care Act is kicking off with the individual mandate on October 1st. It's a big deal. It's a whole new ball game. We're going to have lots of new federal laws. It's going to be lots of new state laws, new rules, new processes. It's going to be a whole new way of doing business. So what worked yesterday, most likely, is not going to work tomorrow. Sparky once said, "People who live in the past generally are afraid to compete in the present. I've got my faults, but living in the past is not one of them. There's no future in it." And I believe this is probably the best route that the healthcare needs to take. I say that because it's a whole new ball game. And one of the questions we need to ask is, how will these industry changes affect health? How will healthcare industry adjust to these changes, and how will success be measured in this new game? Most importantly, how can baseball help? And I see a couple of you going, baseball, really? Well, yes. First of all, I'm a baseball fan, so everything I associate to in life has to do with baseball. So that's the first reason and the most important reason. But second of all, baseball has a long history. It's our America's pastime. It's a survivor. We've had changes on the field and off that they've survived over the years. And that really is significant changes. The Black Sox scandal, the designated hitter, which if you know me, I'm a National League fan, so I don't like that. Interleague play, the steroid era rule changes, and of course, the fact that the Cubs cannot win a World Series. Off the field, they've survived World War II, which we lost many players to support our country's war effort. Technology changes. We've gone from radio to television to the internet. Competition. I'm sure there's a lot of NFL, NHL, NBA, soccer, even cricket fans. So that takes away. The one thing that's consistent is baseball statistics. For someone like me, I love that. Every game has a box score. Every game has statistics. Everything's tracked. You always know where you're at. There's a win and loss associated with everything. The statistics provide the on-field manager with decision making. Are they on track? Do they need to change their lineup? Are the Mariners in trouble? Should they have traded Ichiro? That is what is the key. It's the success for them making good decisions. They also generates consistency. If you're a Hall of Fame person, 300 wins gets you a pitcher in the Hall of Fame. So it's very consistent in that way. Sparky won 3 World Series, 2 with the Reds with the Big Red Machine, 1 with the Tigers. He's 6 all time in wins. When he retired, he was in the 3rd place, and when he went to the Hall of Fame, he was in 3rd place. He not only knew his statistics, but he knew his people. He was a people manager. So when Sparky looked at a pitcher that was struggling, he pulled him out of the game. He was known as Captain Hook. Pete Rose said, "I'd walk through hell in a gasoline suit for Sparky." He was beloved. Healthcare organizations need good managers. They need people that can manage people. They need people that can make good decisions, people that can understand metrics, make decisions off those metrics. And have a little common sense, because as we all know, with a name like Sparky, he had to have a lot of common sense. They need to also define their box score and know what their statistics are. What metrics are we tracking? How do we know we're on track for the Affordable Care Act? How do we know that we're in compliance? What federal laws? Next things they need, good managers in place. Have good metrics defined, good systems in place, good reporting tools like we saw earlier. Everyone in the organization, top to bottom, knows what's going on. If you have all those things in place, you can then turn to an enterprise business intelligence plan and say, run those reports from top down and say, are we on track? Are we headed towards the World Series? Or worse yet, are we to have another rebuilding year, and are we the Chicago Cubs? You can hit a home run if we have your good managers in place, you have systems in place, and you have those metrics. But you need all 3. I'm not really sure that's where we're at yet. Hopefully we're there as we approach just October 1st. And so I would ask all of you that are part of a healthcare organization, do you have a Sparky Anderson to lead your company in this new game? Do you have your systems in place, and have you defined your box score and team statistics? Because at the end of the day, that's what you're going to be measured by.